In Arizona, there is a mining town named Prosperity known for its high gold production, but the mines have been closed for some time. One night, a man is driving a truck full of chemicals. He fails to see a rabbit in the middle of the road. He slams the brakes to save it, causing a toxic barrel to fall off the truck and sink into a pond. The next day, Joshua goes to the pond to collect some crickets. Unaware of the poisoned water, he has many spiders as pets, so he comes here daily to catch insects to feed them. A week later, Mike visits Joshua because he is also a spider enthusiast and wants to see his friend's pets, but he still gets scared when a spider jumps on the glass. Mike notices the spiders have grown strangely large, so Joshua explains he's been feeding them some magic crickets, and hopes this discovery will make him rich. As they discuss some theories, a tarantula manages to escape its cage. Joshua then tells Mike about all the different breeds of spiders he owns and introduces him to Canuela, a dangerous queen spider who can produce acid to kill her prey from the inside. After Mike goes to school, Joshua finally realizes that one of his tarantulas is missing. He starts searching for it, but the tarantula finds him first. It crawls on his back and bites his neck, causing Joshua to scream in uncontrollable pain. As he frantically flails, he accidentally knocks down the rest of the cages, allowing all the spiders to escape. They begin to crawl all over the room and even attack Joshua's parrot. The next week, Mike tries to visit Joshua again, but as he passes the pond, his mother, Samantha, who is also the town sheriff, stops him. With the help of Deputy Pete, she is trying to retrieve the barrel and send the chemical contaminating the water to a lab for identification. She considers the area dangerous, so she makes Mike get in the truck and takes him home. Further down the road, some teenagers are riding their bikes very fast and performing dangerous stunts. When Samantha spots them, she turns the truck around and stops them. Samantha also makes her daughter, Ashley, get into the truck and issues a fine to the mayor's son, Brett. That night, Ashley talks on the phone for hours and doesn't care that her brother needs the phone, so Mike tampers with the cables to make her think the phone is not working. He then takes the phone and tries to call Joshua, but there is no answer. Meanwhile, Joshua's house is covered in webs, and his remains, now the size of dogs, have become food for the spiders. At the mall, Mayor Wade announces that the town is having financial problems. He thinks it can be solved by building a commercial complex, but for this, he needs the local people's land. Everyone starts complaining against the idea, including Chris, the son of the mine owner who died 10 years ago. Chris recently returned to town and knows that his father found a gold vein in the mine, so he refuses to sell it. A heated argument starts between Wade and Chris punches Wade, but before the matter escalates further, Samantha separates them. She remembers that Chris has always been short-tempered and reminds him to behave, but she doesn't arrest him for now. Later at Pete's house, his cat sees a spider going into the vents and chases after it. At the same time, Pete's wife reaches out to take a can from the pantry, but since she is arguing with her husband, she doesn't notice the spider hiding there. Suddenly, the couple hears their cat screaming inside the vent as strange marks appear on the wall, resembling the bodies of a cat and a spider. They follow the sound until it goes towards the ceiling, and when the lights flicker, they hear the sound of the cat dying. The next morning, Chris talks to his aunt Gladys about why he left town so many years ago. It turns out he had beaten Samantha's ex-husband. He still has feelings for Samantha, so Gladys challenges him to do something about it. Meanwhile, Mike tries to sneak out of the house, but he finds that his mother has handcuffed his bicycle. Ashley is heading out to meet Brett, so Samantha gives her a taser for protection. Just then, Chris arrives with flowers to ask Samantha out on a date, and she accepts. While they talk, Mike takes the opportunity to sneak out of the house and walks to Joshua's house. When he gets there, he is shocked by all the webs, but there are no spiders. Joshua and the parrot are also not around, not even their bodies. Mike checks the area behind the house and finds large footprints that indicate the spiders have grown even bigger. Following this, he goes near the mine entrance and finds a very large spider leg. Just then, he sees a huge spider behind the cave, so he quickly retreats before being seen. In another area of the mines, Chris is making a plan with some men to find his father's gold vein. After work, Chris is driving on the road and spots Mike, so he offers him a lift. During the journey, Mike tries to explain what is happening with Joshua's spiders and even shows Chris the large leg, but Chris takes it as a joke and doesn't believe him. Back in the mine, a man is still working and sees that his hose is jammed. He tries to blow into it, but a swarm of spiders rushes into his mouth. As the small creatures crawl out, Canuela appears to kill the man. When Mike gets home, he climbs in through the window but is caught red-handed by Samantha. He tries to tell her about the spiders, but she is angry because he sneaked out and thinks he is making up stories, which she blames on him watching too much TV. In the evening, one of Wade's ostriches is killed, and all the others start panicking. Wade hears all the noise and comes out to investigate, where he finds the bones of the dead bird. However, he doesn't see the spider because it is hidden underground. One by one, more ostriches disappear around Wade, as if the ground is swallowing them. The next day, radio host Harlan talks about the dead animals people are finding in their homes and shares a lot of conspiracy theories on a show. Meanwhile, Ashley goes to see the boys racing their bikes again, but Brett stops her to kiss her in the truck. He starts getting forceful, and Ashley stops him, explaining she isn't ready to go that far yet. Brett doesn't take no for an answer and tries to continue forcefully, so Ashley takes out the taser and electrocutes his thighs. This makes him fall out of the truck and wet his pants. He says she went too far, so a distressed Ashley drives away. Just then, the large spiders arrive, and Brett screams in fear. He runs to warn his friends, but they see his wet pants and think he is being a baby. Suddenly, a spider jumps on one of the teenagers and kills him. So, the rest finally start running. Some of them manage to escape on their bikes, but the spiders still manage to catch many of the boys and eat them for lunch. The monsters even chase the bikes to force them to crash and eat the driver. Brett speeds up and takes a big jump that allows him to get rid of one spider. Then, he crosses the road. When another spider tries to follow him, it is crushed by a truck. The other spiders jump onto the vehicle and distract the driver until he crashes into some light posts, causing a small explosion that kills a swarm of these monsters. The crash also brings down the phone lines. Brett thinks he has defeated the spiders for good. But soon, more arrive, so he has to speed up again to escape. He accidentally enters the mine and hits the wood at the entrance, causing it to break until the whole hole is sealed. As the spiders try to dig to reach him, Brett sets out to find another exit. Meanwhile, Gladys's dog hears a noise in the basement and goes down to investigate. It finds a hole in the wall and starts barking, but suddenly a large spider comes out to grab it. When Gladys finally sees that her dog is missing, she goes to look for it and finds its leash near the hole. She goes inside and finds that her house is directly connected to the mines. Just then, the spiders arrive and trap her in a web cocoon as well, catching her. Soon, Chris also hears some noises and goes to the basement where he finds the hole in the large spider leg, making him realize that Mike never lied. In the morning, Chris takes the leg to Mike, who explains that this type of spider doesn't eat its prey immediately, so Gladys might still be alive. In the other room, Ashley is tearing up her picture with Brett when a spider suddenly crawls through the window and shoves her against the wall. Mike, Chris, and Samantha hear Ashley screaming and run towards her room where they find the spider wrapping the girl in webs. Chris tries to attack the monster with different objects, so the spider uses more webs to trap him against the wall too. Thankfully, Samantha keeps a weapon in the house and finds it just in time to kill the spider. Following this, Samantha calls Pete on a police radio and asks him to bring as many weapons as possible to her house. In the mines, Brett is still looking for a way out when he comes across the dead miner. Nearby, many people are trapped in web cocoons, and some of them are still alive. Brett watches in horror as Canuela feeds on the struggling corpses and quickly leaves. In town, the barber is closing his shop when he suddenly sees two large spiders jump on a friend and start wrapping him in webs. At the police station, Pete gathers all the weapons he can and leaves in his car, unaware that a swarm of spiders is following him. When he reaches Samantha's house, he hears something on the car roof and shoots through it, causing a green goo to fall on his face. Just then, the group comes out, and Samantha shoots the spider, giving everyone a path to get into the car. Another spider tries to attack, but Chris shoots it before they drive away. As the police car drives through the town, many spiders see it and chase it. Eventually, the group reaches Harlan's trailer, and Samantha takes over his show there to warn everyone in the area about the spiders. However, no one takes her seriously because Harlan's show is always full of very fake alien stories. Soon, a large tarantula arrives and starts shaking the trailer while Samantha sends one last message. Everyone must gather at the mall, which should be safe due to its concrete walls. The tarantula pushes the trailer while Pete keeps shooting at it until it falls to the ground and dies. The trailer also falls, and the sounds of people screaming are heard on the radio. Another tarantula appears with small spiders, so the group rushes to get out in the car. Meanwhile, in town, another car is having trouble driving because there is a spider on the roof, and it eventually crashes. Local people come out to see what the commotion is and finally see all the spiders running through the streets. People panic and try to run as the monsters break windows and jump on roofs, killing every person they can reach. Many spiders attack from underground, so one man throws a ladder to use it as a bridge and reach his car to escape. However, the spiders are fast learners and start tearing car doors to reach their victims. When Samantha's team drives by and sees the entire chaos that has erupted in the city, she uses the police speaker to tell everyone to run towards the mall. Right now, the mall only has a few workers and Wade, who is happy that a big crowd is coming because he thinks they came to support him. As everyone runs inside, Samantha and Pete stop at the door to shoot at the incoming spiders and buy some time for the remaining people. Once everyone reaches the mall, a worker activates the gate, so Samantha and Pete also have to rush to get inside before the gate reaches the ground. After securing the doors, a debate begins on how to proceed. They need to call the army for help, and Wade mentions he has a cell phone, but the signal isn't great. So, Chris and Harlan volunteer to use the antenna on the roof. The rest of the people search every store to find anything that can be used as a weapon. Mike grabs some perfume bottles and gives them to Chris, explaining that it might confuse the spider's sharp sense of smell. In just a few minutes, Chris and Harlan reach the roof, and Chris starts climbing the antenna. Spiders are also climbing the building, and Harlan has to shoot some of them back while Chris finally gets a signal. However, when he calls 911, the operator doesn't believe his story. Meanwhile, the other half of the spider swarm starts pushing hard on the front gate to slowly bring it down. Everyone waits patiently, but Ashley sees Wade sneaking out the back door. She informs the crowd about it, and a mall worker realizes Wade is going from the basement to the mines. Samantha sends her children to hide there while she and the other adults get ready to kill the large tarantula, which finishes breaking the gate. She then backs off and lets hundreds of smaller ones enter the mall through the new hole. The crowd immediately starts shooting, but the enemies are too many, so they have to flee to the basement. Chaos erupts in the mall as more people are killed or captured by the spiders in every corner. Pete can't reach the basement in time, so he lifts a shutter just enough to roll under it. When the spiders put their legs through the shutter, Pete uses a chainsaw to cut them all off. In the basement, the survivors find that Wade had locked the next door, meaning they are trapped. On the roof, the spiders are surrounding the boys, so Harlan jumps to create a diversion and lands in the bushes just as Pete comes out. The spiders are chasing him, and the door behind them can only be opened from the inside, so they can only run. In the mines, Wade is surprised to find Brett. Just then, the spiders find them, and Wade tries to take Brett's bike to escape, but a spider catches him and drags him away. And seeing the monsters coming, Brett jumps back on the bike to escape. In a mall store, the barber comes out of his hiding place and doesn't notice a moving tent until the spider reveals itself and jumps to grab him. Coming back to Chris, he climbs a little higher on the antenna until he reaches the cables and slides on them to get straight into the mall through the vents. Samantha sees Chris stuck behind a grill and helps him out before joining the others in the basement. Suddenly, something starts pushing the door, which quickly gives way. It is Brett, who is using some small machinery to open the path. There are some spiders behind him, so the crowd starts shooting until they are all dead. And the spiders are trying to open the second door, so Samantha moves the machinery to block it before joining the group, exiting through the mines. As they run through the tunnels, Chris notices a strange smell and realizes it is methane gas, meaning a small spark could blow up the whole place. A mall worker takes the wrong turn, and a spider finds him, immediately jumping on him to drag him to the nest. Another spider tries to attack the crowd, so they use a crossbow to kill it without a spark. The group then moves forward and finds the spider's nest where they are keeping all the captives in cocoons for the queen to eat. Everyone is startled when something falls from the ceiling, but it's only Wade, caught in a web. After freeing him, Chris asks Samantha to lead the group to the exit while he stays to look for Gladys. Before they separate, Chris tries to express his feelings, but Samantha explains that she knew he liked her and that he beat her ex-husband because he was cheating on her, as Chris's father told him before he died. Samantha ends her goodbye with a quick kiss. Meanwhile, in the basement, the tarantula breaks the door and is chasing them with more spiders. In the mines, Chris checks many of the corpses until he finally finds Gladys alive and well. She looks up and finds the gold vein right behind Chris. Just then, Canuela arrives, but Chris cannot shoot her without causing an explosion. So, instead, he throws perfume in her face. Canuela panics and is confused for several seconds, which is enough time for Chris and Gladys to jump on Brett's bike and escape. On his way out, Chris hides a box of matches inside a lamp. As Canuela chases both of them, the crowd manages to exit the mine and find the generator. It has no gas to work, so Ashley offers the taser, which is effective in starting the generator. One by one, the light bulbs inside the mine turn on, and they ignite the matches, causing a huge explosion that spreads through the tunnels. Chris and Gladys speed up and get out just in time, but all the spiders, including Canuela, are caught in the fire. The explosion kills all the monsters while Wade screams because he won't be able to sell the mines in this condition. Suddenly, many police officers, ambulances, and firefighters arrive with Harlan and Pete, revealing that they were all fans of Harlan's show, and that's why they came. They ask about the other survivors, but Chris tells them that Gladys was the only one alive among the cocoons. A few days later, Harlan has brand new gold teeth, thanks to working on Chris's infamous gold vein.